Hello everybody! In this video, we're going to unbox and try to run this lifelike Golden Rails train set. So a little backstory. We were on a family vacation up on the thumb of Michigan this summer. At some point prior to our vacation, my brother and sister-in-law had found this train set in a barn attic. So they pulled it down and gave it to us during our visit. The train set itself was used by my brother-in-law's parents to run around the Christmas tree during the holidays. Okay, so what about the company that made this train set? Lifelike was founded by Lou and Saul Kramer. They started out making those balsa wood airplanes starting in the 1930s. After World War II, they got into the model railroad scenery business and made grass mats and trees under the Lifelike name for the first time. Now, flash forward to 1960, and an HO model railroad manufacturer named Gordon Varney sells his company to Saul Kramer. For the next 10 years, the HO model trains made by the company Saul bought continued to be sold under the Varney name. Then in 1970, the trains began to be sold under the Lifelike name. In 1973, Saul Kramer entered into a joint manufacturing venture in Hong Kong called Sandakan, which greatly expanded their manufacturing footprint by manufacturing train accessories not only for the Lifelike line, but also Atlas, Lionel, and Markland. Because the Lifelike train sets were considered a down-market brand, the company created other brands like the Proto brand and the Proto 1000-2000 lines, which filled the need for a more finely detailed locomotive that could compete with companies like Athearn. In 2000, the Kramers sold their business, and by 2013, the brothers had died, Lou in 2005 and Saul in 2013. As far as Lifelike goes, the parent company Lifoam Industries sold the whole model railroad business to Walters. The Lifelike line of model train sets like this one was discontinued in 2016. Only buildings and grass mats are sold under the Lifelike brand now. All other train-related brands are now sold under one of the other Walters brands. Because the Lifelike train sets are considered a down-market brand, they're fun, but not particularly valuable. I've done a bit of pricing research, and I've seen them used for as low as $12.99 and as high as about $120 or so. But the price neighborhood I seem to see the most in is the $40 to $60 range, depending on the condition. Okay, now that we know a little bit more about this train set and the Lifelike company in general, let's unbox and take a closer look. So this train set, I'm sure, has been unboxed many times, but this is new to us and it was taped up prior to us receiving it, so it's kind of like unboxing a new product for us. All right, so first out of the box is this little cardboard insert here that contains the transformer and some track, which we just dropped a piece. But we'll take a closer look at all that stuff. Alright, next out of the box here is this molded plastic kind of container here with all of the cars, the locomotive, and the rest of the track. And there's some paperwork there that came with the train set originally, the registration form and the warranty and all that. These Lifelike trains are actually warranted for life, I think the box said when we were looking at the packaging. So anyway, yeah, so let's get everything out of the plastic container there and out of the cardboard, and we'll show you the individual pieces. All right, with everything unboxed, we'll just give a quick description here, and then we'll throw the locomotive and the rolling stock on the turntable just to give you a quick look. Everything here is pretty much toy grade, so there's not a ton, there's no interiors on the cars or anything like that, so there's not a ton to see, but yeah, we'll give you a close-up look of that. So in general here, what we have is enough of this track to make a 38-inch circle. So that's the track that came with it. And then right up front here, you'll see that there's the terminal track. That one there is where you plug the wire from the transformer into to to connect the power to the track. And then you'll see it came with obviously that blue power pack that goes in forward and reverse. So we'll take a look at that. It's got the Lifelike logo on it, and then you see the little dial there. It's in the off position in the center, and then reverse to the left, or forward to the right, and then reverse to the left. And as I said, this train has gotten plenty of use, so the wire that connects the transformer to the track is already pre-connected by the previous owners. So, and then when we set that up, we'll just connect that bottom wire there. It's got the these slide connectors on it that'll just plug right into the track. Once you hold those up, right there, those wires right there, right into the terminal track. So yeah, just a super basic setup. I mean, it's all stuff I'm sure most people here are already familiar with. And then to put the track together, it's one of those pieces of track that kind of slide in laterally from the side there. It's not like the Bachmann Quick Track that it plugs directly in, kind of butt end. This kind of slides from the side, and then like he's doing there, it just kind of slides up, and then that makes the connection to the rail connections. So, all right. And then as far as rolling stock goes, it came with a boxcar, the Erie Lackawanna in white, and those doors slide, they're operating doors, but that's the only operating piece. They're completely plastic, and if you look at the trucks on the bottom, I don't even think that you can change the couplers if you wanted to. This is, if one of these cars breaks, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, so there's that. Okay, and then it also came with a low-sided gondola. And that's nice. That's a main central. That's right up here in the northeast. So that's something we can certainly identify with. Again, not a lot of detail, just very, very basic, kind of, like I said, toy grade type of quality here. All right, and then it came with a tank car. Hooker Chemicals. I think we've seen those in pretty much every website that we go on for HO. There's always a Hooker Chemicals representative there in all the different grade qualities and all that, but yeah. And then it comes with a Union Pacific caboose. And then finally, we've got the locomotive. The locomotive's got a little bit of heft to it, actually. I kind of like this. It doesn't. It seems to be a pretty decent quality. We'll see how it runs in a couple of minutes. But yeah, so that looks to be, I don't know, a GP9-ish. I'm not sure the different variants of that style of locomotive. I believe that looks like a GP9 to me, or a variant thereof. So yeah, let's get them on the turntable. Just give a quick spin just so you can see all sides of them, and then we'll take it out for a run. All right, so first up, we'll take a look at the gondola. Again, this is a main central. It's completely plastic. It does have some, markings on it for authenticity. It's got the pine tree logo there for main central. But yeah, let's give it a quick spin. It's got the little brake wheel detail on the end there. If we didn't mention it, these, or if you didn't notice, these cars have horn couplers. They don't look like they're detachable, although it did come with extra couplers. We'll have to take a look at that. We didn't see where we could actually separate the coupler from the truck, but we'll take a closer look at that. So yeah, let's take a quick look at the top and the bottom. Again, no detail in there, just basic plastic. The bottom has actually some nice detail on that, on the bottom of that car. You get a lot of bracing. You can see some simulated wood planking under there, some air vacuum tanks, and all that. So yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Pretty nice. All right, next up is the Arri Lackawanna boxcar in white. Again, just basic plastic. It's got some, graphics on it there for the Arri Lackawanna and the logo, and then some other, car graphics like weight and size and things like that, and the car number there. So a few details there. It's got ladder on it on either opposite corners, and then some step-ups, but these are all molded into the plastic. And then, like I said earlier, the only operating feature on this is the sliding doors, and they're pretty delicate. So they, as a matter of fact, I had to put one back on because it fell off. But yeah, there's a slide right there, but those will come off pretty easy. So all right, let's give it a quick spin. These cars are in the 6-inch length range here, just to give you an idea of how long they are, if you didn't notice on the tape. All right, quick look top and bottom. There's the top. There's some roofing details up there. The catwalk or the walkway up there, and then the little hatches on the corners that lead down to the ladders on the side. So, and again at the bottom here, a little bit more detail down here than, there's no interiors to these cars or anything like that, but this has some bracing going across the bottom and lengthwise, and then again the plastic trucks. So. Okay, so next up is the Hooker Chemicals tank car, and this one here has a little bit of a two-tone paint job here. It's got the orange at both ends, and then black center there where the dome is. It's got a little ladder going up the side. Yeah, this one doesn't have too bad a detail. This is actually a pretty nice car for, again, a toy grade car. But yeah, let's give it a spin. It's got some details there on the end. You can see the brake wheel there. On all these cars, both sides are identical to each other. But you got the Hooker branding on there, which looks pretty nice. All right, let's take a quick look at the top and the bottom. And you got a little bit of detail up there on the dome, little filler hatch there, which is kind of cool. And on the bottom, there's not too much to see there. There's just the frame holding up kind of the chassis holding up the tank there, or supporting the tank, and then again the plastic trucks. All right, and finally for the rolling stock, we have the caboose, and this is a Union Pacific caboose, obviously, number 49940. So it's got a few windows in there. There's no plastic windows in there, or any kind of detail like that. Again, toy quality here. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like a bad caboose there. So let's give it a quick spin. It's got a center cupola and a little chimney there for the stove that's more than likely inside. You got a ladder, access ladder for the roof there on the end with a brake wheel, and a little veranda-y platform to step up on. Again, same badging on both sides. And the ends here are identical. Again, a ladder to access the roof of the caboose, and then a brake wheel. All right, let's take a quick look at the top and bottom. And there's a view from the top, just a center walkway there. You can still see the center cupola there with the chimney for the or stovepipe for the stove that's presumably inside the caboose. Let's take a look at the bottom. Yeah, the bottom's got some pretty good detail on it, similar to, I think the gondola was the other car that had the good detail on the bottom, but it's got some air or vacuum tanks in there. We've got some air lines or vacuum lines there, and some bracing, and what looks like the bottom side of a plank wood floor. So yeah, that's pretty impressive for a toy grade caboose. Okay, and last but not least is the locomotive. And again, this looks to be a like close to a GP9 as far as appearance goes. It might be a GP9, but it also might be a variant. But it's Union Pacific number 2007, and it says "We can handle it" on the cab, on the side of the cab there. It's got the nice two-tone paint, as you would expect from Union Pacific. It's got that yellow and red, which is and gray, which is really a beautiful color combination. And it's got the silver trucks down there. So yeah, it's got the nice hand railing. It's got not bad detailing on this at all. So yeah, so let's give it a quick spin. You can see it's got the little step up there on the rear of the locomotive. Step up on both sides. It's got a headlight and a rear light that should be operational. We'll see that when we run, but hypothetically, that should work. And you can see it's got some fan details on the top. We'll take a look at that when we look at the top. And it's got nice side railings on it, and it's got a set of horns that are still attached, which is always good when all the parts are there. Yeah, this locomotive looks like it's in really good shape. All right, let's take a quick look at the top and the bottom. All right, looking at the top there, you've got your three ventilation fans there on the top, as well as some compartmentalized features up there on the roof. And then you've got the horns. Again, the horns are in good shape. It's always good to see those details, still attached. But yeah, that's a good view of the top there. Let's take a look at the bottom. And there's the bottom of the locomotive. It's got a part number kind of painted / stamped at the bottom of the little engine compartment there. The wheels look like they've got some pretty good wear on them, but hopefully they'll still be running pretty good. Again, we'll check that out in a few minutes. But yeah, just to show you the bottom there. Well, there you have it. A look at an older Union Pacific version Lifelike Golden Rails train set. Everything works and runs pretty well. Not bad for a train set found in a barn attic. Maybe it'll find its way under a Christmas tree once again. While it's a fairly common train set and not particularly valuable or collectible, one of the reasons that we reviewed this is because there are probably many people out there who want to get into the hobby but are on a budget. Our hope is that this video gives those people at least one idea as to what type of entry-level train sets are out there and about how much they might pay for it. Especially if you don't have wonderful, generous in-laws like we have to find these things and give them to you like ours did. Well, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.